Hello students and family members, it's Mr. Panza. I'd like to introduce you to multi-digit multiplication. Recently we reviewed math facts, but now it's time to jump into the more difficult next chapter of multiplying numbers. Really the only steps to follow here is multiply the ones, followed by multiply the tens. However, I'd like the students to start understanding that multiplication of a multi-digit number is also related to place value. 43 by itself in standard form can be expanded by understanding that the 4 in the tens place value is worth 40 and that the 3 in the ones is worth 3 ones. And also understanding multiplication. This number here is our multiplier. We are going to create groups of 2, 3 groups of 2, and 40 groups of 2. I want to say that again, 3 groups of 2 and then 40 groups of 2. The reason it's 40 and not just 4 is because this 4 is in the tens. So when multiplying, I can organize my thoughts by first writing the numbers in expanded form. Second, multiplying the ones. How many groups of 2 in the ones? 3 groups of 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Add my plus sign here. Then I multiply the tens. In this case, I have 40 groups of 2. So what is 40 groups of 2? Or 40 times 2? 80. Quick trick. If you notice a friendly number or numbers with zeros, you can cross out the 0, multiply the two numbers you see, 4 times 2 is 8, and then add your 0 directly into your answer. This leads us with an expanded form number of 80 plus 6. And when you add those together, you're going to get your final answer to 43 times 2, 86. Where there are 8 tens and 6 ones. Now, I like to show it this way, and many students like to continue to organize their thoughts this way because it shows how math builds on itself. This is using place value to help us with multiplication. However, the standard algorithm, which you will see next over here with this beautiful graph paper, is a quicker way and a way that many students may latch on to. We're still multiplying the ones and then multiplying the tens, but instead of expanding the number, we are understanding within our head, using mental math, that when we multiply the tens, it's not just 4, it's a 4 in the tens, but it's worth 40. And we can represent that by regrouping if needed. In this case, no regrouping is needed. 2 times 3 will get me 6. Multiply 4 times 2 and get me 8. It's the same exact type of procedure, but it's shorter. Now at times, like in letter D, you may have to regroup. First, let's take a look at expanding the number. 58 is nothing more than saying, hey, a 5 in the tens is worth 50 and 8 ones, or 50 plus 8. And now I'm going to multiply by our multiplier, which is this 7 here, letting us know that I have 50 groups of 7 when I multiply and 8 groups of 7 when I multiply. When I multiply 8 groups of 7, and if you know anything about me and multiplication math facts, I like to sing 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56. That means when I put 7 groups of 8, I get 56 total. And I still need to multiply my tens. 7 groups of 50. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35 is 7 times 5, but I have to add my 0 back in, which means it's 350. When I add 350 plus 56, I get a 6 in the ones because 6 plus 0 is 6. 5 plus 5 is 10, so I carry my 1. And then I do 3 plus 1 to get 4. 406 being my final answer. There is a simpler way, however, as I mentioned before, and some students may latch on to this. First, when you multiply the ones, and you do 8 times 7 and get 56. Instead of writing it all out, you can take your 5, or the 5 that is in the tens, and put it in the tens, but place it above your multiplication problem. And then the 6 goes into your product, or the answer to a multiplication problem, in the ones category. The one thing that you have to remember is down here we are multiplying, and up top we're adding like we used to with addition after regrouping. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 5 more gives me 40. I get the same exact answer, matchy-matchy, as it does over here, 406, when I have 58 groups of 7, or 7 groups of 58. However, you can multiply using place value and expand the number, or multiply using the standard algorithm by carrying numbers and adding in later. Let me do a couple more examples for you. For letter G, I've expanded 99 to 9 in the tens is 90, and a 9 in the ones is worth 9, and I'm going to multiply these both by 4. First, 4 groups of 9 is equal to 36, and 4 groups of 90 is going to be 360. Some students do like to rewrite this, and I would encourage you to do that, vertically, so that you can add these numbers together easily. 6 and 0 is 6. 6 and 3 is 9. Nothing in the hundreds except for the 3 gives me 396. Same exact thing over here with the standard algorithm. 9 times 4 is 36, except I can place my 3 in my tens above the 9 in the tens, and my 6 in the ones, because when I'm doing 9 groups of 4, I get 3 tens and 6 ones, or 36. And then I do 9 groups of 4 again and get 36, but I have to remember to add in the 3 above here, and that gives me 39, or a 3 in the hundreds and a 9 in the tens, 396. Let's do 2 more. 38 in expanded form is 30 plus 8. When I do 8 groups of 4, 8, 16, 24, 32, I have 32. And then when I do 30 groups of 4, I get 120. And I add them together. 2 plus 0 in the ones is 2. 3 plus 2 in the tens is 5. Nothing other than the 1 in the hundreds. Quicker over here in the standard algorithm. 32, when I do 8 groups of 4, is written as a 3 in the tens and a 2 in the ones. 4 groups of 3 is 12, plus 3 more is 15. So you're still carrying the numbers, you just got to add from the top. One final example. Let's take a look at that final example now. 89 times 7, or 7 groups of 89. First, in expanded form. 80 plus 9 is 89 expanded, and when I am multiplying that by 7 groups, I do the ones first, or 7 groups of 9, which leaves me with 63 total, and then 7 groups of 80, which is really just 7 times 8, 56. Add back in my 0 and get 560. Add them together, 3 in the ones, 6 plus 6 is 12, carry my 1, 2 in the tens, 5 plus 1 is 6. My answer should be 623. Let's check it out with the standard algorithm. 9 groups of 7 is 9 times 7 is 63, a 6 in the tens and a 3 in the ones. 8 groups of 7, or 7 groups of 8, is 56, plus 6 more, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, or a 6 in the hundreds and a 2 in the tens. We match. So I hope you've learned how to use either place value by expanding the number and multiplying then adding, or this new algorithm of multiplication that also uses what you've already known, adding after you carry numbers. Hope this video helps with multiplying multi-digit numbers by single-digit numbers.